Solidarity has been extended. Beautiful weather outside. This is really a regressive mood. Oh, I'm sorry. My name is CyrusHojjaty. We've seen the Allegiant plan and how it was short on its promise. I oppose this is because I don't want the Tropicana Hotel to be replaced. I'm not a fan of its location. The senators made very good points. Krasner about taxes, Pat Spearman about other priorities we should have. The veterans housing was a really good one. I didn't know about that. There's other investments we can do, particularly in transit. When I was at the Target protest last weekend, both sides agree that that's a good idea. I'm concerned about parking because remember, after the Golden Knights was built, they started to charge for parking. I'm concerned, yes, about another COVID era. Let's talk about the jabs. The two senators talked about it. People from all over the aisle have talked about stadium subsidy issues, such as John Stossel, John Oliver. Not to mention, you talk about taxes funding this. Room taxes, which people are paid through Siegel Suites. Senator Neal brought up this. This is a regressive tax. A lot of low-income people live there, and they also use ride-sharing programs because they don't have a car. When we also talk about subsidies, for a lot of different industries, subsidies for food and transportation is not the same as stadium because these are necessities. Entertainment is not something we need to live and survive. And I believe this is just a desperate approach to pump up the economy, to gouge prices, and it's perhaps another reason why we need to restructure our local government. But other than that, I will ditto all the other excellent testimonies. Great to see that we have a lot of agreements, and I will yield my time. I hope this session continues. Enjoy this. Thank you.
This meeting has been done very professionally. Congratulations, Senator Canizaro. I can agree with Senator Pat Spearman that we could possibly use yearly session because, I heard about that good bill. However, I think we can compromise where we can cap the number of bills at 400. We've got to really invest in a lot of things to improve our tourism, particularly in transit. I'm working on a project that would mix heavy rail and personal rapid transit into one. We need to restructure our local government, such as adding county commissioners or possibly breaking up the county. By the way, it's a cool 67 degrees out here. It feels like it's Carson City. I would appreciate that we can have more town hall meetings after this session, not tomorrow, but maybe next month. We can talk about, I've heard some money went to private unions. I don't know about that. But I'm really concerned about the economy because I heard there's a lot of rumors that there's a real estate downturn coming along. And I remember 15 years ago, oh boy, and according to Nevada Current, Mr. Aguero did not predict that crisis very well. I could be wrong. Other than that, great pleasure. Thank you so much. And best of luck for all of you and our state.
I oppose SB 31. If billion-dollar corporations, the A's, the casinos, utility companies, CEOs, stockholders, we all know that in this town, they have the money to invest. If they really believe in this project will be profitable, why don't they invest it in themselves? If potential investors are cheap and possibly don't see value in this for themselves, then what makes the public believe this is a value to us? The taxpayers involved here, there is no trust from the people about who the contractors will be, which union workers or non-union workers will get the jobs. The cost of supplies, the cost of labor, the cost usually tends to be a little higher sometimes than projected. For example, whenever tax dollars are involved, sometimes the quality of union workers are not the best of the construction. Just for example, like the Yankee Stadium, it had structural concrete issues. Look at the Washington Redskins Stadium, the FedEx Field. It's had structural issues on their upper middle levels and their higher levels with pipage leakage, concrete structurals, all kinds of damage that lack of the construction from the workers. Take a look at an example of public funding projects that have failed. San Francisco 49ers Stadium, projected to be $700,000 to be cost. It ended up being $1.3 billion. City of Detroit, they went bankrupt after they built the Lions Stadium. The St. Louis Rams and the Miami Marlins, both cities are still on the hook with the tax dollars. Actually, the city of Miami is actually in default of the payments of their stadium right now that was built. We all know privatization always works because we will get the quality of workers of their choice, the quality contractors, the quality supplies, and get the stadium built in a faster, timely manner if the A's and investors have to worry about the tab, not the taxpayers. I am in strong belief that if the A's will come along with the jobs, that the people who testified earlier in support regardless, if we tell them no, it worked for the San Francisco Giants, the Boston teams. They have their own privately funded arenas and stadiums, the LA Rams and Chargers.
If you could please go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay. Go get private investors, stay out of our pockets. This is a project of failure. Let the private investors fail. If the profitable, then let them have the profits. We, the taxpayers, are fine.
He's next in Las Vegas.
Hello, this is Susan Proffitt, Proffitt. Giving tax credits to billionaires for an additional sports team that we don't need in Nevada is an irresponsible use of our tax dollars. We already paid for Raider Stadium, but we have not seen the benefits yet. I know how we could. Why not use it to house the illegal aliens the Democrats are still inviting to Nevada? Housing these immigrants at Raider Stadium would be a good use of our tax dollars and protect us from diseases until the Democrats' new voters have been screened for diseases and vetted. Again, this is an irresponsible use of our money, especially when we lack adequate medical facilities and a non-existing education system, which is failing our children today. You will not attract jobs and businesses to this city until you fix both of them. So please, I urge you to not pass this bill. Thank you very much for your time. And one more thing.
So my name is Lorena Cardenas from Senate District 8, and I don't know a lot about sports. I just know that Las Vegas stands for casinos. That's the attraction. So I don't, the question is, I guess, is replacing a casino with a stadium a good idea? Is that what we want? Is that the identity of Vegas? I also want to ditto the previous caller for Senator Canizaro and for her baby, because I hope when she sees the baby, she realizes that not a lot of babies have the chance to be born the way she's choosing. Abortions for thee, but not for me. And she's calling for abortions for babies that look exactly like her baby. So I just wonder, I hope when she sees her baby, she remembers all the babies that she wanted to be aborted just at the same age.
So we're actually going to ask for testimony, and we appreciate you calling in and staying with us such a late night. But we're actually going to ask for testimony that is related to this bill. We are on neutral testimony. If you are on the phones and want to give neutral testimony, we would love to get your neutral testimony. So BPS, if we can go on to the next caller, and a reminder that we are going to keep our testimony to the matter before the committee.
Hi, this is Katrin Ivanov, IVANOFF, aka Mrs. Fixit. I will do my best to be neutral just because that's the position I'm forced after you guys let people from New York to talk, people from California to talk on a bill that's gonna be spending my money, Nevadans' money. Nevadans were not allowed to talk, so now I'm going to be neutral about the fact that with the decisions you made during COVID, you killed small businesses, and this money can be used for small businesses. I'm going to be neutral on the fact that our schools are in appalling shape. I'm going to be neutral on the fact that over 80% of Nevadans do not want this bill to pass. I'm going to be neutral on the fact that this would not help the rest of Nevadans, maybe Clark County some, maybe not. I'm going to be neutral on the fact that all the things presented to you for that bill, how good it is, there is no proof of that. All the economists say stadiums are no good investments. I'm going to be neutral on the fact that this is our hard-earned money, or not even. This is actually my grandkids' hard-earned money, because we're talking investment for 30 years ahead. It is appalling to me. How can you even consider voting yes? And yes, we are watching, we are listening. You see how late it is. We've been staying on these phones and on Zoom for hours. I'm going to also be neutral on the fact that everybody in support of the bill were not your constituents. They were represented.
Okay, and you are at 2 minutes.
I'm a little bit disappointed of how that session went because the support was given 15 minutes because all the people, they were given all the people that they had and 15 minutes went up. But then the opposition was not given all the people that they had. So the only reason everybody got 15 minutes because they only had 15 minutes of support. And I don't believe that's fair. Also, congratulations to the chair for her lovely baby. But honestly, I don't believe the legislature is a place for babies. This is a little bit disappointing to me to see that she brings that beautiful baby over there instead of either getting a babysitter or having someone of her family help her. Or you guys have my number. I would be willing to babysit instead of having that baby there. It's just, that's not a place for babies. I don't know how you see it. And people saying, oh, she's a badass. No, this is not a place for babies. And thank you for staying so late. But I hope that you guys listen to the constituents that are not very happy with this. And if this money were given to the small business owners, we wouldn't have lost 1/3 of small businesses in Nevada after what happened, after you guys forcefully closed us. You decided who was essential and who wasn't essential, even though the businesses were doing the same thing. The small papa and mama shops were closed.
And we are at 2 minutes.
Walmart
Thank you so much. You can
also-
submit any additional public comment in writing. BPS, next caller.
Eric Stenholm, ErikStenholm. I oppose this bill, and I'd like to inject a little common sense into the discussion. Jeremy Aguero is not an economist. He's an attorney, and his only degree is in hotel administration. This is the best guy John Fisher could find to trot out there to give you the supposed I don't know how that hasn't been brought up yet in questioning. You'll notice that everyone that supports this bill just doing the bidding of a billionaire or a special interest group. No matter how many times Dave Cavell tells you he went to Stanford, no matter how many times Jeremy Aguero says he's an economist, just remember that this bill is not smart policy.
Good evening, Chairwoman and members of the committee, including Senator Cole. For the record, my name is Annette Magnus, and I'm the Executive Director of Battleborn Progress, here today in opposition of SB 1. We have been very consistent on this issue over the years, and by the way, I am born and raised in Las Vegas, and we have mobilized our 22,000 plus subscribers today who live in Nevada against this bill. I have joked as I come to the end of my time with Battleborn Progress that this has been like the Eras tour of all the worst ideas I have seen in this building. But this specific walk down memory lane might just be the worst for me. I was standing right here in this exact spot in 2016 when Allegiant Stadium was rammed through in a very similar fashion during a special session. Somehow, though, reading this bill, we have managed to bring forward an even worse deal than the last one. And now we have wasted taxpayer dollars, thanks to the governor, twice in a week with 2 special sessions. This deal will leave taxpayers on the hook because, as you heard, there are no new revenue sources to back these bonds. I don't care how anyone tries to spin this. The A's are a failure of a team and should not be given our tax dollars when their owner is a billionaire and doesn't need this cash. We look at the deal. Just look at the deal the same owner went back on with the Quakes and the stadium that the public built for them. They are still last in their league and have not invested in the team as promised, even with their new stadium. We have been here before. I've seen this in my entire life in this state. We went through this with Allegiant Stadium, and I hate to break it to you, but the Raiders are still a losing team, and their record has gotten worse since they moved to Las Vegas. And they still make UNLV pay to use it, which is a joke. The bill is just another example of this. And like I said in 2016, if this team wants to build a stadium, their billionaire owner can build it with his own money. I would like to know why the A's management is hiding in the gallery today and not down here fully answering questions to why they deserve our tax money, especially after the same management has previously been quoted ripping public funding for
Ms. Magnus,
stadiums.
if you could wrap it up.
Yep. I will end by saying this. I am an avid sports fan. I grew up watching baseball with my dad. On Saturday, I was at the first Stanley Cup game that the Knights won. Not only are they an actual winning team, but they also somehow managed to play in a privately funded facility. Imagine that. I urge you to vote no for this scam. Thank you.
First, I want to acknowledge, yes, this will create good paying union jobs and also a great opportunity for API small business in our community. And I also believe that the wisdom, if you build it, they will come. However, as grassroots advocate and representative of provider of direct services for our most underserved members of our community, I'm here in opposition due to how the current community benefits agreement is written. Although from the last hearing until now, we do see that one more slide for more of the intent. It is encouraging in its intent, but we would like to see greater community involvement with accountability and specificity written in statute that support our most marginalized community in a meaningful way. For that to see community-based return on investment, we're also in opposition because if we cannot write it in statute because it will lock in and not be adaptable, then the current language of 5 years review and update should be shortened to more frequent intervals. If the same argument, so like annually or 2 years to report to this legislature that will be more nimble, adaptable, accountable, and equitable to the Nevadans. So I urge you to oppose for how it's currently written. Thank you.
Nazaro and members of the Senate. My name is Dayla Gibson, DAELA-GIBSON, and I'm representing Planned Parenthood Votes Nevada. We are in strong opposition to SB1. Once again, Nevadans are being asked to finance a stadium we don't want and can't afford. There's so much else we can accomplish with these hundreds of millions of dollars, including free access to preferred birth control for people of reproductive age, including IUDs, oral contraceptions, etc. Free access to menstrual products for incarcerated people, free access to menstrual products for students, free access to Plan B at colleges and community health centers, free breast pumps for new parents, free parenting classes and other support programs for new parents, free STD and STI testing and treatments, paid leave for new parents, investing in affordable and accessible healthcare or housing or education would be a much better use of this money. So we urge your opposition. Thank you.